the red owl. He didn't have any violations. It was automatic release, so we let him go.
Okay. Alrighty.
Okay. Let the record reflect that this is the meeting of the Lagrange County Alcohol and Beverage Board on August 14th at 11:12 a.m. The members present are myself, Donita Brill,
Tom Tribbett.
And Michelle Trauber, State Excise Police. Sorry, I'm trying to figure out why we can't see everybody.
Oh.
Okay. You can go on.
But we've got one renewal with a violation, and someone representing is here. And that number is RR 4439866, Lake of the Woods Tavern, doing business as the Woods 2. If you would like to come forward and we can swear you in. And your name is?
Lorraine.
Lorraine.
What's your last name?
Lene.
And you are the owner.
Do you solemnly swear?
Wait, she's got to raise her right hand.
Okay, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the answers that you give today or testimony you may give in response to any questions asked by this board is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Thank you.
Can I move back or stay here?
You can stay
I
there.
know it's a busy place.
Is that where you take over?
Yep. So this is a renewal after a violation. Back in April of this year, there was a citation for the chicken shitting gambling game.
It's not a gambling game.
Okay. Well,
I guess it is. It's done with a tip board.
paid a $500 fine. And we received a complaint on it, so the officer went out there to investigate. So I guess tell the board who, what, when, where, why,
Would you like me to start at the beginning or start where I was?
wherever you would like.
Okay. It started in 1971, this game. My parents and grandparents started it. So I've danced around trying to figure out how we can keep this going, because it's not a problem. I've never had the police out there. The person who called in on me was a disgruntled employee because they thought it was wrong. But obviously I didn't think it was wrong because it's on my sign. It's on Facebook. We've been doing this since 1971. Or I haven't, my parents did. We do it twice a year. Why would you think we do it twice a year? It helps me pay my property taxes. People come, get together. I was told that tip boards are legal now because this changes quite a bit. I've been in it long enough that the rules keep changing. You know, you put up a wall here and insist upon it, and then a year later, you can set kids in the bar room. It's just a constant, vague bunch of stuff. So somebody had called in on me before. This has been, I don't know, several years ago during COVID. And some people from India come out and they're like, we don't even know what to do here. You're not doing anything wrong that we can see, but we have to visit this. And then Michelle then looked at their film, I guess, I don't know. And I got charged. This is way back at COVID. I had to do a Zoom meeting and this all became something huge. I don't know. But after that, we talked about it and the tip boards are allowed back in. And then the gambling with professional ball games came back in. You could do that again because that was taken away a while back. But I've been at it 40 years, so most people don't last. So we went through it at that point. So I'm like, okay, do it as tip boards. That's how I do it. But what's his name? Officer Aria, is that what it is?
Arroyo.
Arroyo. He came out and was there all day with us. I knew he was there. I wasn't doing anything wrong. He drank water. He didn't want to play the game. Well, the game's super easy. It's very clean. All of the chickens are in a cage. They're friendly chickens, whatever, emotional sport chickens or whatever you want to call them, but they're friendly chickens. It's not rough. It's not fighting.
How do you do it with a tip board?
I'll show you. they pay $1 for one of these chickens off of here. So it's just a regular 100-row tip board.
Okay,
It's random. I give them,
how's that correspond to the chicken?
if he poops on your number, you win. Or if he doesn't poop, then we go ahead and take it. That's all it is. It's simple, nothing to it. It brings people out. I sell chicken wings. I sell t-shirts. No take for the house, except for beer. And we do buckets. And most people are about my age, just silly. But it's a fun thing and it brings people out, gets them moving. My parents started this in 1971. This is this year's shirt. I sell a lot of shirts every year. And maybe it is silly, but these are adults. They have designated drivers. Nobody's fighting. We throw popcorn. We clean it up. We're ready for dinner hour by 4 o'clock. And they're allowed to throw popcorn. It's just a fun day. We've been doing it for that many years. It's gotten to the point that the people that are my age are bringing their kids. So it's just something we've done for years. Like I said, I do it twice a year. I'm not trying to capitalize on anything, but it helps me pay my taxes. You must know what the tax
state
are.
for the tip boards?
I'm sorry?
Are you licensed with the state for the tip
Yes,
boards?
yes.
So let me address the whole, you can do it, you cannot do it, the laws change, now minors can be in a bar, et cetera, et cetera. That's life. You're gonna have to get online and keep up with the laws. They're changing constantly. Every July, there's new laws that come out. It's your responsibility to keep up with them.
You're right.
The ATC, does not control all of that at all. That's legislators. So, yeah,
What's
things
the
are
rule?
changing. So
What is the rule against me? Because I got this says, and actually I asked him, I said, I was angry. I'm like, you bring me out here on Monday afternoon. I work all the time. Why didn't you do something the day he was there? If I was doing something so wrong, why did he not put a halt to it? That you're going to charge me. And I said, are you going to charge me with anything? And he said, no. I said, good, we should end this conversation because I'm an angry old woman. I'm tired of it. I said, and we're getting nowhere. You're saying what you have to say. I'm saying, we're repeating ourselves. So I'll sign whatever. I'm going to go have a little bit of a day off. So he left me this, and then I get this. Now
Okay.
here can I finish?
let me stop
Would
you.
Let me
No,
finish?
the green paper is the citation.
He told me he was not charging me with anything. Just sign this, he'd get out of my way.
Well, let me look at it because
And
I'll
then
tell you what it is,
Here,
a
I
citation.
said that I'm a public nuisance and paper gambling. I don't know what paper gambling is.
What you're holding right there.
I thought this was legal.
Well, it is, but what you're doing is indirectly. Those are legal. Chicken shitting is not legal.
Why?
And you were told back in 2019 you got cited for chicken shitting game.
Yes, that's what we're talking about. That was over during COVID.
Yeah.
Nobody even came to my place.
You got
Nobody
a
was-
violation for that.
Nobody
And
came
you
to
paid
my place, checked it
$150
out,
fine.
did anything, saw what we were doing. I was sight unseen. Somebody said this, and that's the way that went. And I paid my $500 again. And then I paid $250 more to put an extension on my license which I'd already paid for. And the check had already been cashed. But since now I got this $250 more for an extension, I could buy another license damn near for what? You guys are charging me in fines and other stuff. They're
So
very vague on these rules. He told me, and actually I sent him a letter to somebody. He told me I should read between the lines. And I said, absolutely not. That is extremely vague. And then he said, why don't you just do it at your house? I said, I'm not throwing parties for free. I'm trying to earn a living here. You must, of course, you wouldn't know. You're not out there. You know. It's pretty cold winter to try to stay in business. And there's a lot against us. And I had thought that the excise police were supposed to be there for us. I'm not seeing it. I can't call you. I have to email you. I can't call and talk to anybody. Had to be email. I'm not a good emailer. I'm 61 years old. I don't email, but I'm forced to. So I do the best I can in the time I have. And I don't have a lot of that because I work a lot, because I can't find any help. Not your problem, but it is mine. So therefore, there I am. paying my taxes like everybody else does. Oh, guess everybody else doesn't, do they? And then you just keep taking money from me. Another $750. That might not be a lot to you. It's a lot to me. It would almost buy another license. But I'm wasting my money and my time, to be honest with you. And I don't mean to be rude, but I'm sick and tired of it. And yes, I need out of it. I'm too old for it, and I'm trying to sell it, believe me. But I would not suggest to anybody to ever do this. My job used to be fun. I love my job. I wouldn't have been doing it for 40 years. But boy, oh boy, it ain't no fun anymore. Something that we're doing since 1971 has become a huge problem. But you know, you got off track betting. You go over here, you go to the VFW, they're doing a chicken shit contest. Everybody in the world's allowed to do something. But since I have a disgruntled employee, now we got to come out here and tell me, why don't you do it? Oh, he also suggested I do it in my parking lot. I said, evidently, you don't realize that I have to have a drawing 90 days and ahead of time and my money in for a special license. And then I have to go to the sheriff to have him come out, check everything and make it okay. I said, why can I not do it in my building? It's no problem. These people come there because just having a fun for a couple hours in the afternoon. And they said I couldn't use a live animal. You know, everybody and their brother brings their security dog in there. I have to worry about hair being in food and everything else because you have an emotional pet. I'm very clean. I don't know if you've ever been to my business, but I'm very clean. And the chicken is not. If it's a health department thing, let me know. But he said, no, it's not. And it shouldn't be. Like I said, everybody and their brother brings a dog in my place now. I don't ask. I'm not allowed to. I'm just confused at why this rule, the vagueness of all the rules. And I looked up public nuisance, an act, condition, or thing that is illegal because it interferes with the rights of the public generally. Nuisance is just something that invades or interferes with another's rights or interests or use of property by being offensive, annoying, dangerous, obstructive, or unhelpful. I don't think that's me. Do you all think that's me? And usually I will just keep my mouth shut and suck it up so I can get my license. That's what I did last time. That's what I do every time if I have to come in here. But you know what? I don't sell to underage people. I make sure I check IDs. I play this silly game all the time and offend people. But you know what? It's not. I'm sorry that they're offended, but my job is to make sure when they're 60 years old and I'm carding them. And if I was doing something so wrong, why did you not stop it that day?
Because maybe he was the only one there by himself. Maybe it was an officer safety issue and he didn't want to address it with a large crowd. I don't know. I wasn't there, but he doesn't have to
Where is-
address it that day.
Oh,
He
I didn't know.
can come in on
No,
Monday
I'm
and
asking
talk
how
to
he
you.
did, so I don't know. I'm just asking.
I don't either, but like I said, there was apparently a reason he didn't. He doesn't have to.
He didn't tell me the reason I asked him.
Well, I don't know either. Because he gave you that violation on Monday.
Mhm.
Then.
And he told me he wasn't giving me any, he was charging me with nothing. And that's because I asked him straight out, are you charging me with something? And he said no.
And he didn't that day, did he?
No, I guess he went home and thought about it, sent me a paper.
Or maybe he got
He-
direction from
he left me
supervisor
here. He left that for me.
on
And then he must
Monday.
have went home and thought about it because I didn't receive this until, I don't even know, I have to look at it, quite a while later.
He left you this on Monday.
Yes, but
Yes.
then I got
This
this
is from the prosecutor. So he leaves you this paper.
and told me that he was not charging me with anything.
Did you look at the paper?
Yeah.
It says it's a violation right here.
What does it say? That I'm a nuisance?
And it says right here,
Common
public
nuisance.
nuisance.
Oh,
Right.
I'm not in public. I'm in a building. So if I shut this building down and do this, I know you're disgusted with me, but you don't pay my taxes.
Okay.
You don't
so
pay my
The
bills.
building's open to the public.
So
Correct.
if I shut the building to the public, I mean, I got people screaming to do this. There's 100 people that come every time and have a good time. And
Lorraine,
if I
at
shut
some
it to
point,
the-
you're gonna have
Can't
to
close it
listen.
For one day, it's gonna have to be.
I can shut my place down anytime I want and make it a private party.
Lorraine,
That is
at-
legal.
At
Doesn't
some
circumvent
point,
the rules.
you're gonna have
So
to.
what are the
listen.
rules? What are the rules? I'm trying to read between the lines, but I don't see anything between the lines. Because he showed me the rule, he read it to me, and I said, how does that affect me? He said, well, you need to read between the lines. So I read that definition as well.
I think what I'm hearing more than anything else is that the tip boards may be legal as they stand, as they're used, as they're designed. But trying to create that into a chicken game evidently doesn't please the powers to be. It's not what's going to happen, you know? So
So if I put a mechanical chicken in there, what's that do? Is that illegal? Because he told me, just don't use a live animal, and out the door. So that's what he told me. But you see, I'm in a rock and a hard place here because there's a lot of different, it's kind of like the Bible. It's kind of the person who wants to, I see it this way, and I see it this way. Michelle sees it one way, you see it one way, I see it another way, and Arya, what, I don't know his name, he sees it a different way. It's so vague. And you're right, I won't be able to do it. You're fine, but I'm gonna have my say. I pay my taxes. I should have my say. And you should all take it home and think about it and think what you do to small business by making up your rules as you go. If you don't choose to give me my license, screw it. I'll go bankrupt. What else am I gonna do? You got my hands tied. You really do. One thing I'm doing different from everybody else and have been for how many years? And oh, that's illegal. That's a terrible thing. I'm a public nuisance. So I guess you can decide my fate right now. Because I honestly am so fed up. Are you done with me? I better go. Or say anything else. Not worth it.
Anybody have questions?
I've already paid all my money.
it's kind of, to me, it's a lot like the Cherry Masters. You know, it's,
If you got a license for them, you can do that.
well,
Yeah. If
it's
you're a
changed
gambling
a lot
license.
from where it was, but it's like, you know, having the machine isn't necessarily the issue. It's the paying out part of it. You know, having tip boards isn't necessarily the issue. It's how it's administered, you know. That's just my 2 cents. Uh, you know, we're trying to take one vehicle that may be legal, and I think we're bending the law to the point where, well, maybe we broke it. You know, so I guess let us discuss it.
Do you really think that though? Or are you just going along with what? You really think I'm breaking the law? I'm being honest. I mean, I think we should all be
I mean, the
honest.
law
about
is
how we
as the
really
law is
feel.
written, and we all have to work within it. It's just like, you know, and the
If
fact
it's
that,
written,
and the fact that says that we can't, well, they're not gonna administer every certain item, you know. We can all get creative and try to circumvent, you know, it's just like having a driver's license. You know, they're not gonna send you a personal notice every time the rules change. We need to look it up, and we need to be diligent in our
I've
knowledge,
looked
you
that
know.
rule up. And I yet to see that between the lines.
I think probably getting permission before the event would probably be the answer rather than begging forgiveness after the event.
I've asked how to do it, how I could run it. I've asked the best way to do it, and they don't want to work with me, so I have no choices. Done. You guys hold my future, my business right here in your hands. Yep. You do. All over a contest that helps me get people out again, know I'm out there, and helps me pay my taxes. And you guys you hold it all.
So
40
Tom,
years.
I'm guessing what Officer Arroyo was saying about read between the lines. There's a statute that says you cannot do indirectly what you cannot do directly. And that's where I think the tip board thing is coming in. So
You think? I might think differently. That's the whole thing. It's too much is left vague. And for you to charge me and keep charging me and then hold my fate like this, it ought to not be so vague. You better say, you can't do this. Not that, today I don't think that's a good idea.
And what I'm trying to keep asking you, Lorraine, but you won't stop talking long enough to listen to anything. Have you ever called the gaming commission?
Yes,
Because they're in charge of all the
yes, I
gambling
did.
and
And they
gaming.
said with tip boards, that is allowed. Yes, I did.
Do you have that in writing?
No. But I'll call them again if you like. And I'll have them send me something in writing.
I mean, just what Tom's saying. If you're gonna get permission to do it, maybe do it in advance and
I-
get
I
something from the
appreciate
gaming
that.
commission in advance that says this is allowed.
I appreciate you telling me that. That's great.
But
Tell
the
me I had to have that, but
prosecutor,
I didn't know I had to have
the
that.
prosecutor, who is an attorney, clearly saw that there was a violation in the law too. Otherwise, he wouldn't have continued to prosecute the violation that Officer Arroyo had written.
See, in my opinion, with the prosecutor, I've been there too. It's kind of hard to fight your battle, with somebody that's owned by. And the prosecutor's just owned by the excise police. That's who that prosecutor is. That's the only person you can talk to. Like I told him, that's ridiculous.
Well, the
Why
prosecutor's
was my-
charged with representing the people. You know, and the whole thing got started because we had a complaint from somebody. Now, whether it was a, you know,
He told me it was a disgruntled employee.
whether that's the
Or
case
whatever.
or whatever, I mean, that's what
Yeah.
started the ball rolling, you know. That doesn't condone it, saying if you didn't have a complaint, then it makes it right, you know, but, I would highly suggest having permission beforehand of any
Okay.
event, you
In
know, I,
writing, so,
Absolutely.
in writing, so
Okay.
there's no confusion.
That's how I started doing the tip boards.
somebody-
I called the gaming and they said, yes, those tip boards are legal. I told them what they were doing and they said, if it's run like a tip board, you should be able to do that. But I did not get it in
Yeah.
writing.
Because everybody's interpretation.
So I did call and
sometimes is
ask. I
different.
didn't get a special permit or anything for it. I wasn't aware there was one, so that was not fair either.
And I don't know, whoever she talked to may have not understood the game either.
Right.
You know, when they said, yes, you can do it, maybe they didn't understand the game.
well, I
I
didn't
don't-
understand how you could change, how you would do a tip board and do a chicken chip contest, you know,
Mhm.
and that's,
And I just showed you how we did it.
yeah.
And it's a tip board. They don't get to stand over there and hand me $1 or I bet on that square and all that kind of weirdness. They get a random number.
That's the way it used to work, right?
Huh.
So they picked a square and.
No, random. It's all mixed up. It's big plywood fenced in and the numbers are all mixed up. And they can take they used to write their name down, but I was told I couldn't do that. So I did the tip board thing. So what they did is a list of 100 and they would just write their name down somewhere. It's all random. They don't get to stand there and bet on a number. No,
And that's the point. It's random.
it's all random. There's no,
Dude.
okay, my favorite number is 50. I get that. No, you don't. You get one, you could do that, but it's not 50. It's not right in the middle. It might be up in the corner, might be over here.
Right.
That
Yeah.
makes it a game of chance, not a game of skill. Game of chance is not allowed.
Oh, give them a chance, isn't it?
But a game of skill is allowed.
That'd be a game of skill. Any more questions?
So what's your willingness going forward if there is such a thing?
It depends on you guys and what you decide and what I can find out from the gaming commission.
And I think too, Officer Arroyo's suggestion of doing it at your home is because at that point, you're not doing it in the public, at a bar, at a public place with an alcohol permit. This is a private party that you're hosting at your home. That is the only reason he suggested that. Because you seem very clearly adamant that you have done this since 1971, and even though you were told in 2019 you couldn't do it, you still do it, and
I skipped
You're
a couple
gonna
of years
keep
trying
doing
to
it,
figure out
so.
how to do it.
Is this your first year back doing it?
No, I did it, I do it spring and fall.
Oh, okay.
So that's, yeah, I should say first year,
Mhm.
because I was trying to find the correct way.
First year, but second event, right?
Yes,
So according to your one sheet where you wrote that letter, that Gmail thing, are you willing to do away with the event?
I am if I have to. I have no choice. That's why I'm here saying my piece for a change. I'm kind of just tired of sitting back and any new thing you come up with is taken away from you. This is an old thing I've been doing. Now it's taken away. Man, you just you can't make it. You got to get people awake and moving. There's too many mom and pops are done. You know what stinks is 80% of Lagrange County is mom and pops. We're not going to be there. We're out. It's just too much money.
I
Too
think
much
I think we
taxes, too
still
much
go back to
everything.
the whole, getting permission beforehand rather than trying to do it afterwards. There's been times where people have used hermit crabs with numbers on them. There's been times when people have used fish, with different colored fish and see if another one's gonna eat it. I mean, people get creative,
They try, I'm
and
sure.
there's no way that the excise rules or state rules of any type are gonna cover every example. So when we say, reading between the lines or whatever statement was made, you have to look at the intent. Look at the intent of the thing. If we're trying to impose our will on the intent, we know it's not necessarily the letter of the law or the intent of the law. Kind of got to look at it. So maybe you need to go to the powers to be, the,
Gaming. Okay.
and get a written statement beforehand, cross your T's and dot your I's. And then if there's a problem with animal cruelty or something like that, it's a whole other part, it's a whole different thing.
They're pet chickens, so I'm not concerned about that.
Well, I mean, it doesn't keep somebody from complaining about it, so you
Sure.
need to cross your T's and dot your I's.
Mhm.
And it's your responsibility, not the excise officers or the gaming commission or anybody else to try to fit into it. Uh, just like the hermit crab thing or the cherry masters or the fish or the whatever it happens to be.
Motion?
So at this point, are you willing to say that you will not have one until you have gaming
Absolutely.
commission permission?
Yep. Because October is when I do them, and obviously, we're gonna be into October soon. And I've been very upfront about all of it. I've not lied, I've not hidden anything.
Do it 1 year.
Yeah, if you want to make a motion for that, you can do that.
Which means she'd be back in a year. Is that what?
When does your permit expire? Do you know?
June, I think. Because I got an extension on this one,
Okay,
and it's getting close.
so she would be back by March of 26 with a 1-year renewal.
Guess I'd be willing to make a motion that we extend, renew the license for a 1 year period with the understanding that chicken contests without express written consent from the gaming commission, detailing how it's going to be run and taking all the question marks out of it.
Okay, that's worse for me.
I mean,
The less vague, the better. I'll take it right down black and white.
we do want to see everybody succeed. We do want to see it be successful for everybody and for the customers and enjoy it and for, be profitable for the owners. But we have to work within the intent of the laws as they are written or other work to change those laws. So I'll make that motion.
I'll second that motion.
Now, your extension doesn't change the renewal date. It just,
It's still saying, yeah,
Basically, we're revisiting it. We're just moving the situation down.
Mhm.
Until March.
Mhm.
Okay.
And eliminating it for this year.
Mhm. Or unless she can get.
Right, absolutely.
Which-
And at that point, then it's basically corrected or solved.
That works.
Continue tradition. That's.
Which, yes, as goofy as it is a tradition.
But, you know, I would suggest going to the gaming commission. I would go to the local sheriff. I would probably go to excise. I'd cross all my T's and dot all my I's just to make your life easier.
Okay,
And at that point, if everything's, you know, done what you can do, yes.
Yeah.
And if one of them says no, then that's the end of the story. If gaming says there's no way around it or you circumvent the, you know. And it's,
There's been a motion and a second,
Mhm.
so you need to call for a vote.
Okay, I think we need to vote. All in favor? Aye.
Okay.
Any opposed?
I will reluctantly vote aye to renew it, since it is 1 year. And I'll tell you why, is because it's a repeated violation. The exact same violation is occurring after you were told once not to do it and you did it anyway. So that is usually blatant disregard for the law in my eyes. So, but based on what Tom said and you agreed to do, by getting everything in writing and getting all the details ironed out, I'm gonna trust that whatever happens in October will either be no contest or it will be a legal one. So, and if it's not, then I won't vote the same way again, for sure.
Cool.
we're good. Appreciate your time.
Thanks for coming. And then we didn't do the automatic.
Okay. The automatic, so we've automatically renewed,
We still have to vote on it.
so have to vote on it, okay.
But
Oh, read it again, the RR 4439866 renewal.
No, that's the Lake of the Woods 2 number. The red owl is RR 4430572.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, you meant the automatic, okay, RR 4430572 automatic renewal for the Red Owl Lounge. Do I have a motion to accept that renewal?
seeing no violations, I move that we accept or approve the 2-year renewal.
And I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
And then I'll make a motion to approve the July minutes as sent out.
Second.
All in
All in
favor?
favor?
Aye.
Alrighty.
Any other business?
No.
Okay. Meeting's adjourned.